And while we're here, sick catch by Reggie Wayne on the sideline. Redskins, Eagles. This underachieving by this Eagles team. I'm not an Eagles fan, and it's frustrating to watch because me personally, for personal reasons, the Eagles don't really affect me. I do kind of admire their franchise. I do kind of like the way things are run. I like Andy Reid. I like McNabb. All that stuff. I like most teams in the league. There are very few teams that I dislike, to be truthful. But the underachieving here, where does it come back to? Early in the season, Deshaun Jackson established himself as a guy who could make big plays down the field. And it seems like they're just not using him enough. He's not quite Randy Moss, who is, but you can use him like that. He can bolt down the field and beat most coverages just with his speed alone. You got to be able to use that. Right now, I look at this Philly offense. I think there's too much Westbrook. As weird as that sounds, I think there's too much Westbrook. They're feeding the ball to him on screens and runs. Every time they get in the red zone, it's Westbrook. Gotta mix it up. That's when this team seems to do the best. When they're throwing it to all these different targets, really mixing it up. That's what I want to see. And, Andy Reid's play calling, maybe that's to blame here. Marty Mortonweg. I don't really know who calls plays entirely, but they gotta mix it up. And I do gotta put some of this on Andy Reid because I think apathy and underachieving does come back to the head coach, so he's got to find a way to get things clicking. Just too many 3-and-outs, too many failed drives. Great job by the Redskins, though. I'm a Jim Zorn fan. Watching the Redskins this season, I'm jealous. I'm jealous that they get to have Jim Zorn as their coach, and next year we got to have Jim Mora. If you guys can't tell, I'm not too excited about the Jim Mora era. Hopefully you can prove me wrong. Somebody actually messaged me about that, about our secondary being really bad this year, and wondering if Jim Mora was not the man for the job. Well, our secondary was great last year. It's awful this year. Hopefully, the truth maybe is somewhere in the middle. Just remember how good our secondary was last year. That was because of Mora. This year, it's awful, and I blame Mora. What's up with that? Anyway, back to the Redskins. I'm getting off topic. Back to the Skins. Campbell... okay game. Didn't turn it over again. That's his best strength right now. He's playing really nice football. I love the play calling by this Washington team. They were down 14-0, kept running the ball, pounding it into the Eagles' top-ranked rush defense, and shredded them. Portis sprang for like 150 rushing yards, and he closed out the game on a 4th and 1. The trick play to Randall L., I love that. I really think that any team with a player like Randall L. or Drew Bennett or Anquan Bolden should be running trick plays like that all the time. And you got to give credit to their defense. They clamped down and held the Eagles' offense to actually 10 points. So good job, Zorn. I'm rooting for you. Falcons, Packers, Matt Ryan won on the road. Now I can bet on him winning on the road without looking stupid. Just saying. He's just playing really for a rookie. What? Sorry. For a rookie, he's doing real well. From a rookie, you don't expect him to make a Pro Bowl. You expect him to be okay and show flashes. That's exactly what he's doing. And right now, he probably looks a little better than even Joe Flacco. So he's just... And I like watching him play. Because it seems like when he's on, he hits deep balls really nicely. So... really liking the way Matt Ryan's coming along. And Michael Turner's lighting things up. Michael Turner had another big day. Roddy White continues to break out. Roddy White was big. John Abraham. Gotta throw him in here because he has had a great season so far, and some people don't know this. Pay attention to John Abraham. I think he leads the league in sacks still, and he has a blocked punt. He's just doing everything for this Falcons team right now. Packers. Things are slipping. Things are slipping in Green Bay. A lot of people putting this on Rodgers. I couldn't do that. I think Rodgers is is having a great season. He does make a couple of poorly timed turnovers, but on the whole, I don't think you can blame this stuff on him. So I thought he played great against the Falcons. It just didn't go his way ultimately. He had the one unfortunate interception. The defense wasn't helping him out at all. And Ryan Grant, he's got a couple more weeks before I label him a one-year wonder. In fact, I might be being too nice to him by not saying it already. He's got to step it up immediately. Packers defense, no Cullen Jenkins, no Al Harris. I don't think they have Atari Bigby. I think they've had some bad luck with injuries, and I think that might be... I don't know where this Green Bay team is headed, but I don't like where I see it going because their defense looks pathetic so far. You got the Bucs and the Broncos. Broncos defense all year looked poor, except against the Raiders, and, well, it's the Raiders. They picked this game to break out. I finally go against them. I finally go, you know what, this defense is not coming around. I think they're going to go 7-9 this year now. I think their defense is going to be awful all year. And now they break out? They got, 3 sacks. They got good quarterback pressure. They were hitting Greasy and Garcia well. They gave up a couple of big plays, but they were able to severely limit Tampa. 13 points, that's the bottom line. And they picked now to do it, just when they fooled everyone into thinking they were a joke. This game, again, great job by Denver's D. They were the story of this game. It was a good defensive struggle, to everybody's surprise. Held down Ernest Graham, kept down the big plays, clamped down when they needed to. And offensively, it wasn't the high-flying aerial assault we expected the Broncos, but it was conservatively solid. They made a couple of nice plays, had the one touchdown, and that's all you need. I still have no idea where this Broncos team is going because their defense was too bad the last 3 weeks for me to give them the benefit of the doubt after this game. Cowboys-Bengals. Sky is falling in Dallas right now. People are freaking out about this Dallas team underachieving, and, a win is a win. And I do admit that they maybe didn't play well, and Dallas fans should be a little distressed over that. But don't get caught up in the scores. I think that assuming that a score was directly represents how good your team is a little wonky. I don't really like that philosophy. I think you actually have to watch the games to get a feel for how things go. So don't assume the sky is falling just because the Cowboys only won by 9 against the Bengals. I will say that Romo needs to stop with his mandatory turnover per game. If he doesn't throw a pick, he'll fumble it. Almost every game in his career. There have been maybe 5 exceptions, maybe less. So he's got to get that figured out. Dallas defense, they had that one turnover right at the beginning on that tipped by Greg Ellis. They had a couple sacks right at the end when Dallas pretty much locked the game up after Patrick Creighton made that miracle catch. Other than that, you gotta say that Palmer played probably one of the better games he's going to play this year. Hushmanzada, same for him. It was a lot like the Giants-Bengals game. So I will say that there is some stuff to think about, but the sky isn't falling yet. Again, we still don't know who's going to be the big shots at the end of the year. Felix Jones, can't say enough about him. Every week, I doubt him a little bit less. He's starting to look like the real deal. And, he might have bailed Dallas out of this game again. He's done a lot of that this year. But I am concerned about what's going on in Dallas. T.O., he didn't seem too happy about not getting the ball that much. I'm just saying, not accusing him of anything, not suspecting anything will happen, but I don't think he looked that happy about it, so something to think about for Dallas fans. There's a good article on ESPN, actually, about Wade Phillips and the Cowboys right now. I can't remember what it's called. If you see it, you'll probably know it. Keep an eye out for it and take a read, and, yeah, now we're in the home stretch.